Alright guys, here we are again with another perspective video. This time I'm going to show you a little bit about how to make cylinders and ellipses in perspective. Okay, so as we have discussed before, um, you know, here I'm going to basically you want everything to recede back to that line. Okay, um, one way to make an ellipse is if you get a circle template, you can kind of just make a perfect circle, which I'm definitely not doing because I'm using freehand. And then kind of find center, and from the center, snap a line. From the edges, snap a line, and right, and then anywhere that you want that next circle to be, or the length of your photo, just put a point. And then if you have, again, if you have a circle template, just make sure that the edges, touch right there. And then you will have your cylinder in perspective. Okay, and of course, in most cases, you're not going to see the inside of it, and so that's what it'll look like. Okay, this is very important when it comes to foreshortening and drawing the human figure in perspective later. So this is a very important thing to master. Okay, all right. Now another method to do this, especially if you're drawing freehand, is to block it in. So I'm going to make a square. I'm going to draw perspective points to that square. Okay, I'm going to kind of draw an X through there to find my center. I'm going to make it about the same length as my other one, but this time I'm going to draw through, and you can see that line there, so that I can, then I can see where to stop that. Again, I'm going to draw an X through it to find my center. All right, so there it is. And now you can sort of just draw your circle inside these boxes. Okay. Now, one way I've discovered that will help you draw a circle even more accurately than just freehanding inside this circle is we know that the circle is going to touch on all four of those corners, but how far in does it go? Well, if you can find the halfway point, which would be right there, let me zoom in that for you. Okay. And then halfway between there and there is like 3/4, right? So you put that mark, there's half, there's 3/4. There's half, there's 3/4. There's half, there's 3/4. And this will kind of create a more spots to stop on to make your circles. So if you're not good at drawing circles, or maybe it's just an awkward angle, which is often what happens with me. Being left-handed, everything I do is awkward. Okay, so that helps you make that circle sometimes a little bit easier. And then we put another one back there, and then connect those lines, top and bottom. Okay, and then you can kind of erase out everything else. Okay, I'm just going to go through and draw it a little bit darker. Okay, now I highly recommend that when you're doing your underdrawing for cityscapes and for buildings, stuff like that, that you're using a ruler or some way to actually snap a straight line. It's just going to really make things look accurate and correct. Okay, and then when you add the detail, you can freehand. Right? Now, one more thing that I want to show when it comes to ellipses is drawing them vertically. So far, everything we've drawn here is sort of at a horizontal plane. They're laying down, facing us. All right, so I want to do one more. And again, I'm going to use that same method. I'm going to draw a box on the ground. Oops, Excuse me. Actually, yeah, we'll make it go all the way up here, right? I'm going to snap a line to the insides and something like that. I'm gonna snap my X. Again, drawing through to the insides. This time I'm just going to follow this line up until it meets, and then I know exactly how far to come across. Okay, that's the thing about perspective, is that if you're doing it correctly, everything should always line up no matter which direction you go. All right, now this is supposed to be a cylinder, not a giant rectangle. So again, I'm going to put my little guidelines right there and draw myself in my circle. Now again, with those guidelines, you can kind of just draw in quarters from one point to the next. Okay, it's kind of helpful, but I would recommend getting in the habit of being able to practice drawing ellipses. It's just good for you. You do end up drawing a lot of ellipses. Again, up here. Okay, and then just find the edges, which a lot of times are just a little bit inside. Okay, so that's essentially how you would draw horizontal ellipses the same way. Okay, hopefully that's been helpful to you. You can now draw boxes and cylinders in perspective. On the next video, I'm going to get a little bit more high tech and make a spiral staircase still in 1 point perspective, which is a little bit more advanced, but hopefully it'll be fun and interesting for you.